Hello learners, this is Sarah Fuller from MU Pre-ETS. Have you been keeping up with our videos? If you have, we want to thank you for supporting our mission to empower students. Please give us some likes and comments to let us know what your thoughts are and what you would like to explore next. If you have seen my grocery pretest video, you may have noticed there were lots of video links in the description that I found to be helpful with grocery bagging and organizing and put away tips. In that video, I also asked some important questions about how to organize groceries when bagging. I also learned quite a bit from my interviews, my grocery store interviews, so thank you Lydia, Ryan, and Kara. Now it's time for me to share what I've learned and help you know the answers to some of those questions. I am going to model organizing and bagging groceries. Before I start bagging, I'm going to show you some of the pictures that will help me know how best to organize and bag these groceries. First, I will need to sort between food and not food. You can see in these pictures there are 3 food items, and on the other side there's a red circle with a slash through it. That means that those things are not food. So maybe something like paper towels, things like that. Those are non-food items. My next step will be to sort between cold and not cold items. So you can see the cold things, those are things that should go in the refrigerator or freezer, and not cold items are foods that's okay just to put in the cabinets, like an orange or chips or a can. After that, I will be sorting between heavy and not heavy. So heavy things would be like something like a gallon of milk or a can. Cans are always heavy. And things that are not heavy might be something like bread or chips, but they could also be something like a box of fruit snacks or paper towels. There are many things that are not very heavy, but it's important to know the things that are heavy so that we can bag them correctly. Now here are some picture reminders as we are organizing and bagging groceries. First, you'll see fragile. Fragile are things that could break or get smashed. The chips, the eggs, the bread, the bananas, those are things that are fragile, and you want to be careful where you put them or they will get smashed or bruised, and that is not good. Then you can see in the other picture there's a guy saying uh-oh because those eggs are smashed. Nobody really wants smashed eggs. Another important rule is don't cross-contaminate. So in this picture you will see a package of raw meat. Underneath it you'll see some bananas, a can, and chips. Then you'll see bread and eggs. And this is a tip we really need to follow. The raw meat should not touch any of the other things. The raw meat should not touch bananas and should not touch bread, should not touch toothbrushes, because the raw meat can have some leakage with germs in it that could make us sick. Raw meat is something that we shouldn't have in our bodies until it's been cooked and the germs have been killed. So anyway, you'll see that it is pointing to one single bag, and that means the meat should go all by itself without touching other things. Then just another note is underneath that you'll see the foods, and those food items, those are things that could go together as long as they're bagged correctly. And the bottom you'll see bread and eggs. That's a thing that is really good to bag together because they're both fragile and they won't smush the other if you put the bread on top of the eggs. Look at all these different kinds of bags. I'm going to show you them and tell you about them. First, the first bag we see is usually a plastic bag. We see these in many grocery stores. This is a plastic bag. This is a plastic bag. They have handles and they're usually pretty sturdy for carrying multiple things. Lots of things can fit in these bags. Then there are reusable bags. These are bags that are really sturdy that usually will not break. And so they can carry lots of items without breaking, and they're very handy. Then you can use them again and again, which is good for the environment. I really like paper bags because they stand up straight a lot of the time. So if you put things in carefully, they'll stay upright, and I think they're It's pretty nice to not have to take so many trips inside the house when you have groceries. So you can carry them like this. I recommend the bags quite a bit. Then there's sometimes bags like this that can keep cold foods cold and hot foods hot. It's important when we go to the grocery store that we keep our cold things together so they can go in the house right away. And that's what a lot of the grocery bagging people try to do. They try to make sure that our cold foods are put all together. And this is a great thing to have in case it takes a while for you to get home. I am going to start by separating all these groceries into food and not food. Pizza, food. Dish towels, not food. Bug spray, not food. Chips, food. Oatmeal, food. Paper towels, not food. Bread, food. Milk, food. Ice cream, food. Outdoor candle, not food. Fruit snacks, food. Body spray, not food. Eggs, food. Green beans, food. Apples, food. Aluminum foil, not food. Ravioli, food. Soap, not food. Hairspray, not food. Pasta, food. Cheese, food. Bananas, food. Skin cream, not food. Deodorant, not food. Can of chili, food. Card game, not food. Trash bags, not food. Colored pencils, not food. Baby wipes, not food. Sour cream, food. Yogurt, food. Batteries, not food. Cleaner wipes, not food. And raw ground beef, food. Okay, next I'm going to separate all of my food items between cold and not cold. Milk, cold. Bananas, not cold. Pasta, not cold. Oatmeal, not cold. Eggs, cold. Yogurt is cold. Cheese is cold. Green beans, not cold. Chips, not cold. Pizza, cold. Bread, not cold. Ice cream, cold. Apples, not cold. Ravioli, not cold. Fruit snacks, not cold. Sour cream, cold. Chili, not cold. Raw ground beef, cold. Now I am ready to bag some of my cold items. It's really important that when I bag the cold items, I pay attention to what is heavy and what is not heavy. Pizza, not heavy. Ice cream, this is heavy. Sour cream, not very heavy. Cheese, not heavy. Raw ground beef, not heavy. Yogurt, not heavy. Eggs, not heavy. Milk, this milk is heavy. All right. I need to know what is heavy because if it is heavy, that is what I must put in the bag first. This is a special bag that can keep cold things cold. I'm going to put my milk in first. Look at that. The bag is standing by itself. That's a tip I learned from Kara, so that is a good sign. All right, my other heavy thing is going in the bag. Good. Now there's still plenty of room for my cold cheese, my cold sour cream, my cold yogurt, and there's room for my cold pizza. Great. Next, I'm going to bag the other cold items I have. Something we need to know is that eggs are very fragile, which means they can break. So it's really important never to put something heavy on top of eggs. A lot of times it's good to put eggs just in their own bag with nothing else. Sometimes it's okay to put bread on top of eggs. We don't need to do that today though. The other thing that's important to know is that if we have raw ground beef or other raw meats, they should be in a bag all by themselves. The raw meats should not touch other foods because it could get on other things and make us sick. So it's okay to put raw meat together in the same bag, but they should not be bagged with other things. All right, now I'm ready to bag my non-cold food items. All right, I have some paper bags. Remember, whenever I am bagging, I need to bag the heavy things first. So let's go ahead and separate between heavy and not heavy. These chips are not heavy. Bananas, not heavy. Pasta, not very heavy. Canned chili, that's heavy. Cans are always heavy. Oatmeal, not heavy. Fruit snacks, not heavy. Can of green beans, that's heavy. Bag of apples, this is heavy. And can of ravioli, that is heavy. Okay, so I know which things are heavy, and that means they go in the bag first. All right. I'm putting my apples and my cans in a bag. I'm making sure my cans are all sitting up straight at the bottom of the bag. The bag is standing up, and now there's plenty more room for other items. I'm going to put my box of fruit snacks in here, my box of oatmeal. These are fitting in nicely. Then I'm going to put my pasta in here. And now I think that's all I need in this bag. All right. Now I have these 3 items. Really, all these items are considered fragile. Fragile means you should never put heavy things on top of them. If I put a can on top of my chips, they will smash. The same thing with my bread and my bananas. I don't want them to smash. Usually, we can put things that are fragile in the same bag together. So I'm going to start with the heaviest fragile item. Even though these items are not really heavy, the bananas are the heaviest thing. They are going to go on the bottom, and the chips are going to go next to them. The bread is going to go on the side on top of the bananas. Now I have things arranged in my bag so that nothing is going to smash the chips or smash my bread or bruise my bananas because there's nothing very heavy on any of those items. Non-food items. I think it would be good to bag these by heavy and not heavy, and probably cleaning and not cleaning. If it's heavy, I'm going to put it over here. This candle is heavy. This can is not heavy. This is heavy. And really everything else is not heavy. Nothing here, it will really be a problem if it gets smushed. Nothing here can get smushed. So we're just going to put these things in bags and try to make sure we don't put too many things in one bag. If we put too much in one bag, the bag could break, and that would not be good. So I'm going to get some more paper bags for this and a reusable bag. I am going to put my candle and my cleaning items in this paper bag. This is a big candle. And it goes nicely at the bottom of this paper bag. This is a big box of dish cleaning tabs. They're going in the bottom of the bag because they're cleaning items. It's good to put cleaning items together so that if they leak or it gets on anything else, it won't be able to be on something that might make us sick. We wouldn't want to get some chemicals or something like this on our toothbrush or deodorant or something. That can make us sick. So we're going to put the candle, the bug spray, the dish tabs, the disinfecting wipes. That's all we need in this bag. Those are some heavy things and some cleaning items. Now I'm going to use this reusable bag. And I'm going to put the heavy things in first just because it will help fit the best. Or the big things. Okay. Sometimes you want to try to rearrange so that the bag is a little more able to stand on its own. If the bag can stand on its own, that's a very good sign. That's kind of standing on its own. So, all right, now I have room for more things. So I'm going to put my aluminum foil, batteries and colored pencils, hairspray, trash bags. There we go. It's standing a little better now. Sometimes we need to rearrange so it stands well. Deck of cards, cream, deodorant, soap. I've got all my other items in this sturdy, reusable bag.
Now it's time to see what we have learned and see if we can answer our pretest questions correctly. Which item should be put on top of a bag? Is it ice cream, a can of veggies, cans of soda, or bread? Hopefully, after watching this video, you know the answer is bread. Bread goes on top so that it does not get smushed by heavier items. What is this item called? Is it a paper bag, a plastic bag, a reusable bag, or a fragile bag? That is called a reusable bag. You saw one in the video that is a different color. You saw a blue one, but this is the same thing. It is a reusable bag, meaning it's made of material that will not break or be torn like a plastic or paper bag can be. Now we're going to look at these different bags, and we should be able to find the answer of which is the right order to put the items in. Okay, letter A shows soda cans and eggs. Letter B shows bread and soda. Letter C shows eggs and soda. D shows soda and raw meat. The answer is A. We should put soda in because it is heavy on the bottom of the bag, and on top of that, the eggs can go because there will be nothing on top of the eggs to smash them, and they will be able to fit together nicely in the bag. B will not work because the bread would get smashed. C would not work because the eggs would get smashed. If you put heavy cans on top of either of those things, they will get smashed, and that is not the right way to bag. Letter D shows soda and raw meat. That one is wrong because we don't put raw meat in with other items. All right, which bag is best? Letter A, we have cans, eggs, and ice cream. Let's think about that one. If we put cans and then eggs and then ice cream in, I would say that that might not be the best thing to do because putting a heavy container of ice cream on top of the eggs could smash them. Eggs should pretty much always go on top unless there's bread. The next one, we're showing cans and then raw meat and then eggs. That one will not work because we don't put raw meat in with other things. We put raw meat by itself. Letter C shows tissues, then bread, then cans. I don't think that one is right because it puts cans on top of bread, and that will smash the bread. Letter D is the right one because it puts the heavy cans in first, then a ketchup bottle, and then bread on top where there will be nothing above it to get smashed. Okay, what do you think? Which should go in on its own? Is it meat, a can of veggies, onions, or macaroni and cheese? Which of these things needs to go in its very own bag, not touching anything else? The answer is meat. That would be letter A. Raw meat should go on its own, in its own special bag. All right, which of these did not need to go in separate bags? We're going to be looking at 4 different circles showing us what was put into separate bags, and we're going to find out which ones really didn't need to be separated, which ones could be okay to put together. Okay, so letter A, we have ice cream and a can of vegetables. Those should be in separate bags because the ice cream is cold and the vegetables are not. So that one's right, those should be separated. Letter B shows fresh vegetables and tissues. Those should be separated because food is not the same. Goes in one bag and not food goes in different bags. Letter C shows 1 can of veggies and then 3 cans of fruit. We do not need to separate cans based on if they are fruit or vegetables. So those can all go in the same bag because they are all cans, they are all food items, and so our answer is C. Those did not need to go in separate bags. And just so we're clear on D, those should be in separate bags because we have meat in its own special bag. All right, last question. Which one is bagged correctly? We're going to be looking at 2 different bags of groceries, and we're going to have to make sure both of them are bagged the right way. Letter A, we have a can of veggies and ice cream, and then 3 cans of fruit and cottage cheese. In those bags, I see that there is a cold item mixed with items that are not cold. So letter A, those are not the correct types of bags. Letter B, we show 2 packages of raw meat in one bag and then fresh vegetables in the other bag. That is the right answer. Raw meat should go together in one bag and fruit and vegetables should go in its own bag separately. So that's the right one. Let's look at C and D and see what was done incorrectly. Okay, on C we have corn and tissues in one bag and then chips and laundry soap. Oh no, if we did that, we would be putting food items with non-food items with the corn and tissues, and then we'd have a problem with the other bag because we would be putting chips in and then a heavy thing on top of the chips, and then the chips would be smashed. Oh no. Then finally, we're going to look at D and see what should have been done right. On D, we have frozen vegetables and fresh vegetable in one bag, and then we have frozen rolls and bananas in the other bag. This is the same thing as with A. We have a cold thing mixed with a not cold thing. In this, they should put the vegetables and rolls in one bag because they are cold, and then put the fresh bananas and fresh lettuce in the other bag because they are both not cold food items. So again, our right answer was B.
Thanks for doing that with me. I hope that you learned a couple things about how to bag our groceries well. We might need to bag our groceries at a self-checkout. We might need to bag up groceries to donate sometime. Or we might decide to work in a grocery store someday And if we do, it will be very important that we follow the grocery store's rules about bagging. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please leave us a comment to let us know if you're here and if you're learning.